Hey everybody, I'm just out here spending a little while training up the grape trellis. You know, there's a lot of people who do grapes different ways than an arbor that's attached to their house. This does seem to have a lot of maintenance involved with it. And so while I am trying to use it to block the sun off the side of my home, I certainly have a lot of respect for why this isn't the way most people do it. Most people seem to be happy doing up a grape arbor where if they do any pruning at all, they go in there at the end of the year, they prune off a couple branches just to make some more room for some new branches so there's not so many vines up on their arbor. Some people don't do anything at all and they just let it keep growing and growing and growing. And I can certainly understand why, because the way I'm doing mine, I have to come out here fairly early in the spring, and I really can't believe that it's only the middle of April. I guess it's close to the end of April, but still seems awful early to be doing this. But I guess that's a bad thing to complain about. Maybe it means we'll get a lot of grapes later. But the way I'm doing mine is I have a main vertical. I call it the trunk, just for lack of a better word. And then I've got main branches or horizontals coming out. Those stay around every day of the year. They're here throughout winter. But then in the spring, these branches will put out new vines. And these new first year vines are the ones that are going to produce grapes. And I use them and trellis them on the trellis to make sure that they go vertical, up or down, to make sure that they cover this entire trellis to provide the shade for the side of my house. So that means I've got to come out here while the vines are young and supple and make them go the way that I want them to go. Otherwise, they end up going off at funny 45-degree angles or not even attached to the trellis at all and come out into the middle of the walkway and things like that. So if I'm going to get the desired effect, it seems necessary for me to come out here and fool with them at the very beginning of the year. I'll come out here again later in the year, maybe about, once every 3 weeks or a month. And if I have a vine that is coming out into the middle of the walkway and smacking me in the head, then it's going to get trellised back up. It's going to get tied back up onto the trellis. Otherwise, I don't pay too much attention to the things that I've already trellised up once. I'll let them just keep going whichever direction they go from the initial instruction that I gave them. And speaking of that, you'll notice I'm using this stretchy plastic wire. I don't even know what a good term for it is. And I don't like using plastic too much. I've looked into different ways of using even the labels that go into my little seed trays. How can I do that without using plastic, but at the same time not, going through 1,000 tongue depressors or popsicle sticks either, because that doesn't seem to be any better. But there's something really convenient about just being able to pull off a tiny piece of this plastic, and it's stretchy. It tears real easily with your fingers, so you don't have to have a pair of scissors or a pocket knife or anything. It will it like sticks to itself. The friction lets you just do one little tie in it and it'll stay, and it's really easy. I don't know another way to explain it. I think it was a really smart idea, whoever first came up with it, but it's plastic. And I wonder if maybe you guys have tried something else. I've tried sisal, I've tried cotton, and those things deteriorate very quickly. And with the rainfall that we have here, by the end of the season, they're gone and I've got vines flopping all over the place. So this is the one time a year where I spend a long time on this. I'm gonna let you go and I'll spend the next half hour tying vines to the trellis. Then from here on out, whenever I have a vine smack me in the head, I'll tie it up. Otherwise, I let it go. Let me know how you like to do grapes and why you like to do it that way. For me, trellising like this gives me shade against my house, but also allows me to make sure I've got good airflow through my vines to make sure that I can fight off fungal diseases, which can be a big problem with grapes. So by trellising them in this way, I get a lot of contact with air, and so maybe I can help fight off the fungal disease. So there's a couple different reasons for doing it this way. Let me know what you think, and hopefully it won't be too long before we come back to the grape trellis and little bunches of grapes like this will have opened up and flowered and been pollinated, and we'll be coming back and showing you fruit on the vine not too long from now. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.